Coming up on Unpeeled, Ashton Kutcher refuses to comment on Demi Moore's recent statements.
And WWE and All Elite Wrestling go head-to-head.
And University Union joins us to discuss Bandersnatch.
All that and more coming up on Unpeeled. Welcome back to the zestiest episode of all time of Unpeeled. I'm Landon Wexler.
And I'm Kerri McAeney. For our top story tonight, the Super Bowl has found its halftime entertainment act. Jennifer Lopez and Shakira will both be stepping up to the microphone for the big game in Miami on February 2nd next year. This will be the first time either artist has performed at the Super Bowl halftime show.
And this news is coming off of what has been a fantastic year for J-Lo. Now, she married former baseball legend, and just great guy, Alex Rodriguez, in March. And her tour is also happening. It's called It's My Party, and it received extremely favorable reviews. And her return of her iconic green dress made waves at Google's fashion show last week. And on top of all that, she's getting Oscar buzz for even her Hustlers performance. That lady is killing it left and right frequently.
Yes, she is a hustler. I can't get over what an amazing year she's having right now.
She really is. And this is clearly, we went to go see Hustlers.
It was great.
It's phenomenal. The lady is grinding every single day.
We broed out.
We did. We were like, oh my God, look at that.
Oh my God, yes.
It was phenomenal. Clearly the lady's working hard. The amount of effort she put into her pole dancing for the feature film.
Just as much effort as you put into your pole dancing.
So not much. I don't want to take you down a little bit, J-Lo, but yes, it's a huge deal. And not to mention, Shakira and J-Lo are both performing at the Super Bowl halftime show. This is the first time a Latinx performer has performed since 2001, where Enrique Iglesias was the performer.
Yeah.
So big stuff, big stuff.
It's going to be great. In more shocking news, however, Forever 21 has filed for bankruptcy. The fashion chain plans to close over 300 stores worldwide and over 170 stores in the U.S. This comes on the heels of Ariana Grande's lawsuit over a look-alike model used for one of their fashion lines.
And that'll do it too. That'll kind of ruin the business plan.
Definitely.
And in a letter to its customers, the clothing retailer says that they are not going out of business. Instead, they're going to file for bankruptcy in an effort to reform their fashion line while keeping certain stores open. Forever 21 ended the letter by saying that they believe this is the right path in the long term. Holy moly.
It's crazy. I can't believe how many stores are closing. I have done so much shopping there. I know you have probably too.
I have once or twice. I'm guilty of that.
Yes.
CNBC put out a map of all the locations around the country. And so I didn't realize how many were closing until that map kind of showed it. There are hundreds going out of it. I don't know what's going to happen. But they're also in the midst of so many lawsuits where Ariana Grande comes out. They also had that coolest monkey in the jungle shirt with that. It was unfortunate, but hopefully maybe that all could have contributed to this.
Yeah, definitely. And the Forever 21 bankruptcy has been telling all of the newest generation of shoppers, and they're showing the behaviors like eco-friendly clothing, online shopping. It's just, I feel like they're trying to appeal to the younger demographic, but maybe they're missing the mark. Maybe they're trying a new way of doing it.
Right, and they absolutely are. Still can shop there for a few more weeks, or basically for a long time, so keep on shopping. It's only the second day of October, and we've already got our first Halloween-esque story. They wanted me to say spooky-esque, but they're spooky, but I'm not going to say that. Netflix announced this week that its popular series Stranger Things is officially returning for a 4th season in a new teaser.
The video is a short clip of the classic Stranger Things theme. This time, however, the red font is covered up by the black, twisted world of the Upside Down, with the trailer ending in text reading, "We're not in Hawkins anymore." The show has grown to become a staple of Netflix and one of TV's most binge-worthy streaming options. I can't believe it's been 4 years.
Has it been 4 years?
Yeah, it's going to be 4 years, yeah.
You know, as someone that's not, I haven't watched Stranger Things too much.
What?
I know, don't come at me. But regardless, there are more important stories here. Stranger Things, in that little teaser, there was no telling when it would be released on Netflix. That leaves the audience, the Stranger Things people, the strangers, all waiting. What the heck is going to happen? When is it going to come out?
Yeah, I don't know. I have a feeling it might be coming out like around winter time of like 2020 of some sort. But I don't know. I'm just super excited for this.
I think it's a lot to look forward to, and it doesn't look like this is going to be the last season either, because this has been so wildly successful. Stranger Things is continuing to improve, continuing to have such a strong character line, and this characters like Millie Bobby Brown, where she's playing 11. You know, I know my stuff, so that's that.
Yes, you do.
But yes, clearly lots to look forward to in the future with Stranger Things. So would you rather win $500,000 and be hated by America or lose and be loved? Big Brother contestants essentially answer this question every summer before they enter the house.
Find out how broken alliances, master manipulators, and dramatic fights played out on the season 21 finale of Big Brother, next on Unpeeled.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream. That I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly. Just to come back in a new disguise. And be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
Welcome back, Unpeelers. Shortly after the Big Brother season finale, contestants have been calling the winner of season 21 a racist. Ever since the episode aired, former contestants and fans have stormed the winner, Jackson Mikey, with allegations on social media. Unpeeled TV reporter Carissa Diagnito is here to discuss last Wednesday's ending to an already dramatic season. So what exactly happened last Wednesday night?
What didn't happen last Wednesday? It was crazy. Jackson Mickey, which is name on the show he's referred to as Mickey, he obviously was announced as a season winner and then was completely obliterated with allegations of racism and bullying. In addition to that, 4 other cast members were also accused of bullying, and then Nick was also called out for cheating on his showmance with Bella on national TV.
Oh
my
That's a lot to take in. What didn't happen is right. So on top of all that, Mickey's reaction to his win was not the best, right? Or it was questionable. What are people saying?
Yeah, well, most people, when they win, are pretty excited and pretty happy. And he said all season, I'm walking out of here with confetti on my shoulders. Needless to say, when he was announced the winner, he was less than satisfied after everything that was said and he was accused of.
Did he not have confetti on his shoulders?
He didn't look like he was too happy.
Mickey, come on, dude. Come on.
He was even seen saying to his mom when the show was concluded, but the cameras were still rolling, I'm not a racist. But so he was pretty upset.
Yeah, so where did these allegations come from if he's not racist?
Well, that's the thing. They came from people watching the show, and they also came from cast members who were booted out in the first couple rounds that don't go to the jury house. They go they don't go to the jury house, so they go home and they get to watch the rest of the season. From there on, they kind of get to make observations. So when the reunion came around, they had seen everything he had said and done, and them along with the fans kind of got the feel for his racist and questionable comments.
Right, absolutely. So any positives from this season? Quickly, tell me.
Yep, so Nicole, who was actually bullied and was also the underdog, was voted America's fan favorite and by over 1 million views, or 1 million votes, and she was also the first female to win it since season 15, and the show was so good that they also renewed it weeks before the finale ended.
That's big. Now, while there are some downers, it sounds like there are a lot of positives as well. Thank you so much, Carissa. Rumors are swirling this week in the aftermath of Demi Moore's new memoir, Inside Out. Moore detailed her 6-year marriage with Ashton Kutcher in the book, and it contains a number of accusations against Kutcher, including that he pressured her to drink and cheated on her with multiple women. Unpeeled's pop culture reporter Katie Lane joins us at the table now to explain the details behind Moore's and Kutcher's response and all that. Can you break it down, the history between Moore and Kutcher?
Yeah, so the two met in the spring of 2003. They were at a hotel. They were having drinks before going out to dinner with some mutual friends. And Moore says in her book, quote, "It feels like there was nobody else there." So relationship started off great. They got married in 2005, making Kutcher Moore's third husband. But then the two split in 2011 and they divorced in 2013.
That's crazy. So why did they decide to break up?
So Moore goes into a lot of detail about this in her book. She claims that she threw away years of sobriety because Kutcher wanted the, quote, girl who could have a glass of wine at dinner or do a tequila shot at a party. She also mentions that Kutcher became less and less present, making Moore feel like she had to change herself to save their marriage. So the big thing she brought up was threesomes. She claims that opening up their marriage was a mistake and that threesomes caused Kutcher to stray away from her and their relationship, ultimately leading him to cheat on her 2 times.
Wow, I'm sure with threesomes gets a little bit dicey in the relationship, so I've heard.
From your experience?
No, so I've heard. So the question, there must have been some kind of comment or reply from Kutcher, right? What happened? How did he respond?
So he was definitely not happy.
Right.
Because she was attacking his character, and so he ended up posting a tweet, and it read, quote, I was about to push the button on a really snarky tweet. Then I saw my son, daughter, and wife, and I deleted it. So his response was pretty passive, but at least it wasn't a huge lash out, which was good. I think he just felt like it wasn't worth it to pay this much attention to her claims. It was her side, he wasn't telling his side kind of thing. So he was unbothered, and he seems really happy in his relationship with his now wife, Mila Kunis, met on that 70s show. So they actually this weekend went out to a Dodgers game and took their kids to Disneyland. So it looks like they're
riding off in the sunset just
Yes.
fine.
Definitely.
Beautiful.
Definitely. Coming up, Spider-Man swings back into the MCU.
Find out how Sony and Disney settled months of back and forth. Coming up on Unpeeled.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate, and it's worn like a badge of honor with good reason. Because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
Taking care of a family member can lead to plenty of questions. Fortunately, there's a place to get the answers, for them and for you. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
Marvel Studios and Sony Pictures jointly announced this week that Superman will be returning to the Marvel Cinematic Universe for future movies. Big news for the fans. During months of failed negotiations between the two media giants, actor Tom Holland and thousands of fans wondered if Spider-Man would ever join the Avengers on screen again. Pressing question. Film reporter Andrew Goldberg is here to talk to us about Disney and Sony's solution and how it'll impact future films. Andrew Goldberg, why is Spider-Man staying with the MCU a big deal? Well, why is it a big deal, I guess is the question.
Well, this should be huge news for anyone who's a fan of Spider-Man or even Marvel in general. I mean, for months this summer, after the release of Spider-Man Far From Home, it really kind of seemed like there might not be an agreement between Marvel and Sony, which has controlled the film rights to Spider-Man since 1985, for how they were going to figure out how to split up the profits of future Spider-Man films, which put the entire series in jeopardy. And that would have been a huge bummer, because if they weren't able to come to an agreement, future Spider-Man films, they wouldn't be able to use any of the storylines for Far From Home, and Spider-Man wouldn't be able to share the screen with any of Marvel's heroes. So luckily, this agreement kind of puts those worries off to the side for now. Big relief to Spider-Man fans.
For sure.
Definitely a big relief for me. With Spider-Man back in the fold, what kind of plans does Marvel have going forward?
So Marvel acted on this right away. As soon as the announcement was made, they came out and said that Tom Holland will be returning for a third and final Spider-Man movie within the MCU. Again, huge news for Spider-Man fans, but really, that's only the beginning for Marvel, which is about to enter Phase 4 in its cinematic universe. In the next couple of years, they've got a Doctor Strange movie and a Black Widow movie set to come out, along with 8 new series debuting on Disney+, which is huge for them. I mean, I could talk all day about this stuff, but the important thing to know is that that Marvel will have its hands full in the next few years.
Right, and it sounds like you'll have your hands full as a film reporter for this.
Absolutely.
We appreciate you, pal. We really do appreciate you. And so while Spider-Man fights crime, WWE is fighting the competition. The new promotion, All Elite Wrestling, launches a AEW Dynamite Wednesday on TNT. This means that for the first time in almost 2 decades, the WWE has direct competition. Unpeeled industry reporter Liam Crowley is here to tell us why he thinks the change in the game is a big deal and why it's a big change for professional wrestling. Take it away, Liam.
Thanks, Landon. We are about to enter a golden age for professional wrestling, with the beginning of the Wednesday night ratings war. But what is AEW and why should you care? Well, AEW is the brainchild of Cody Rhodes, a former WWE wrestler who left 6 figures of guaranteed money on the table due to creative frustrations. After critically acclaimed runs in Ring of Honor and New Japan Pro Wrestling, Rhodes caught the attention of billionaire Tony Khan. His family owns the Jacksonville Jaguars, so yeah, they got plenty of money. An avid wrestling fan upset with the stale product, Khan proposed that they take matters into their own hands. Couple that with some of the greatest wrestling minds fulfilling executive roles and a stacked roster, and AEW was born. Promising a focus on the sport aspect of wrestling, fans can expect less wacky gimmicks and an emphasis on wins and losses. Tag team wrestling will be a major focal point, and their women's division is rapidly growing. And fans, they're seriously invested. Their first pay-per-view sold out the 14,000-seat MGM Grand Arena in Las Vegas in just 4 minutes. In an effort to stop their new competition, WWE has moved its popular developmental program, NXT, to the USA Network in the same time slot as AEW Dynamite. For reference, that's only 1 channel apart. Now, for the first time since the Monday Night Wars in the late 90s, we will have 2 promotions airing at the same time in direct competition with each other. Think of it like the Super Bowl and the NBA Finals airing simultaneously. Star Wars and Avengers opening the same weekend. Whether you're a fan or not, there's no denying that AEW Dynamite is primed to cause a paradigm shift in the world of professional wrestling.
Liam, thank you so much. We are in for definitely one heck of a ratings war, aren't we?
Definitely. After the break, Unpeeled sports reporter will join us to discuss how WWE is responding to AEW's new program. You won't want to miss it.
Come on, it's not that hard.
My big man fingers are having a problem with these little tiny buttons.
Whoa, watch it there. Your blood pressure's gonna go through the roof.
Tell me about it. I'm trying to learn how to get it down. Instead, it keeps going up.
High blood pressure can increase the risk for heart attack or stroke. Learn how to keep yours at a healthy range.
Ever hear a voice command? Just say text Barbershop to 97779.
That's not what I said.
Just give me that. Now my blood pressure's up.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. God, no.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early. You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
They said a bottle was just a bottle. That no one would ever notice me. But I knew I could be more. That one day, I would make people smile.
Welcome back, Unpeelers. We heard from industry reporter Liam Crowley on how AEW is preparing for quite the ratings war. Now we have CitrusTV Syracuse Unpeeled reporter Mason Horodisky to tell us about WWE's reaction. Mason, tons to talk about.
Oh, tons, absolutely. I'm so excited.
Mason. I would love to hear you defend WWE, but I think it would be better. I think it'd be better if we had a little debate right now, a little battle royale. Me versus you, AEW versus NXT. What do you say?
Well, I mean, I would have went with a steel cage match, but I guess a formal written debate would be a little bit better.
All right.
Let me do this for you. I'm gonna put my title on the line tonight in this one here. Well, you look good in this.
Thanks, pal. I do look good in this.
Yeah.
All right. So we got to decide this with a debate. Is that right? Liam, Mason. First question: who has the better roster? Liam, you have 30 seconds. Who has the better storylines? And Mason, You know what? Tell us, Liam.
Well, the roster on AEW is stacked. We have Cody Rhodes, Kenny Omega, WWE escapee Jon Moxley, bonafide Hall of Famer Chris Jericho, and the best tag team in the world, the Young Bucks, as well as a bunch of rising stars. And we have a very diverse roster. Pentagon and Phoenix of the Lucha Brothers represent that luchador style, and OWE from China gives Chinese wrestlers a platform they've never had before.
Oh, that's 30. You have 30 seconds to talk here.
Well, look, those guys are great, but where's the finesse? Where's the flair in these wrestlers right now? You have the current NXT champion, Adam Cole. You have the ultimate underdog, Johnny Gargano, who, mind you, is ranked higher than any wrestler in AEW right now in the PWI Top 500 wrestlers in the entire world. You have a former UFC star in Matt Riddle, whose only reason he's not in UFC anymore is because he's a plant enthusiast, I guess you could say.
Sure.
You have the Prince impersonator, my personal favorite, 24-year-old Velveteen Dream. Look, by the way, who is AEW's champion right now? Chris Jericho, former WWE guy. There wouldn't be an AEW without WWE.
All right, well, hold on. Okay, I'm going to give this one, the first one, I'm going to give it to Mason. The first one, okay?
Fair,
all right,
fair.
sorry, we bounce back. So who has better storylines? Mason, go.
Well, as far as storylines go, NXT is second to none. I would even say that they are the undisputed best because of the undisputed era completely running the show right now. Adam Cole's stable of him, Roderick Strong, Kyle O'Reilly, and Bobby Fish currently hold all the gold in NXT right now, and it is up for the grabs against some of the best wrestlers in the world. Bad blood and great wrestling matches make the best storylines. These guys are easy to hate and are magic in the ring.
I mean, come on. The brewing rivalry of the executive Cody versus the champion Chris Jericho is going to be the feud of the fall. But you talk about bad blood. There's no more bad blood in professional wrestling right now than Kenny Omega versus Jon Moxley. This was a match that was set up in May that's finally going to pay off at Full Gear in November. And also the redemption arc of Omega, the rise of Pac, and the tournament to crown the first ever tag champions. I'm salivating just thinking of these matchups right now. The Undisputed Era holding all the gold. It's cool, but it could get stale real fast.
I'm into bad blood. I'm into your mouth watering. What the heck did I just say? All right. Well, Liam, you got it. All right, that's 1-on-1. Final question. Who will put on the better matches? Liam, take it away.
Easily AEW. Cody versus Dustin Rhodes at Double or Nothing in May was a 5-star classic that didn't require any of the flippy style that we see in NXT. Kenny Omega has had 12 5-star or above matches since August 2017, and he's the only person in history to record not a 5, not a 6, but a 7-star match. This guy is insane. Couple that with the Young Bucks consistently outdoing themselves. Just look at their trilogy with the Lucha Brothers this year, and their young stars are hungry. Sammy Guevara, Darby Allin, Hangman Page, just to name a few.
That's it. Mason, take it away.
Well, look, you mentioned that AEW doesn't have the flippy style of NXT. Who doesn't love that? Who doesn't want to be entertained? This is professional wrestling. And Kenny Omega having 12 5-star matches, he got those in Japan. Who cares? They gave out 5-star matches a dime a dozen. Landon, you could have a 5-star match in Japan if you wanted.
I can?
You can. Oh my gosh. In WWE, it is difficult to actually have a 5-star match. The last one was in 2011 until Johnny Gargano did it in 2018. Since then, he's had 3 more after that. I should know. I was there for one of them.
Bam! Oh my God, here's a big decision. Oh boy, all right. He gave me a show in Japan, dude. He said I could be on a show in Japan.
He did.
The winner.
And still,
Mason, the
give me
dispute.
that.
All right, so, you know what? It was a pleasure. It was a pleasure. Both
Always
of you.
a
You guys
pleasure.
are great.
Always a
Classic.
pleasure.
I'm glad we have a civilness on the civility. That's it. We close the show tonight with a preview of University of Union's upcoming concert, Bandersnatch. You don't want to miss it. You got it, Kerri.
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day I found out I have something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Looking for these? You drive buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
University Union's annual Bandersnatch concert is Friday. This year's lineup features Coffee Duckworth and a student performer named Troyes Patones. Unpeeled music reporter Patrick Gunn sits down with University Union to discuss what we can expect from this year's show. Pat?
Thanks, Kerri, and you're here with people from University Union who are setting up this great concert, Bandersnatch. We got Noah Getzig and we got Mackenzie Globitz. So a little bit of pronunciation with the name there, but what's really not to be mispronounced is this year's concert. What can you guys tell us about the lineup this year?
So this year we have Coffee, who is a 19-year-old reggae Afrobeat singer. We have Duckworth, who is a really cool songwriter and performer, and we have Troyes Patones, who is a Syracuse student and a DJ.
What's it like to have a student coming out here and performing in the concert?
It's amazing. It's you know, every opportunity we can get, we love to highlight the talent on campus. And this year we found a really talented DJ who's been on the party circuit, and he's really popular. So we're really excited to have him.
Yeah, it's great to have something like that as a DJ. But you guys also this year you have a performer in Coffee who's been featured by Barack Obama on his playlist, and his music was in the soundtrack for the Jordan Peele movie Us. What's it like to have him here?
So for Coffee being on Obama's playlist and Duckworth being featured in the movie, it's just like, it's amazing, and it's an honor to have people on campus who have been internationally recognized. It's really cool.
What kind of like a stat lure does that bring to this event?
I mean, hopefully people can recognize that we're doing our best to bring these critically acclaimed artists to campus, and we're really excited that they're up and coming and just cool acts to see live.
And the performance, the live aspect is important to this. So what does this event offer than other events in years past?
So this year we're really excited because we feel like we don't really want it to be just, you know, go to the show and stand there and listen to music. We want it to be a big, like, dance party. We just want people to have fun and come on a Friday night.
That's good, absolutely. That's what a better place to be on a Friday night than at a concert, right?
Absolutely.
Exactly.
So you guys are also doing something a little bit different to help promote the show. What are you guys doing with the playlist?
Right, so we actually for this show curated a playlist of the artist's music so people can kind of listen beforehand, get familiar, because it's always better at a concert when you know who you're seeing. So it's up on our Spotify, and it's a great way to get familiar with the artists.
And what the name of the playlist is Bandersnatch? Yeah.
I think it's Bandersnatch 19.
Okay, and what kind of songs can they expect to see on there?
A lot of Coffee's best hits. I mean, as Noah said, she's a crazy rapper, reggae artist, and literally everything. Same with Duckworth. You can see all their best hits, including Duckworth's song that was on the Spider-Man soundtrack and Coffee's first album she released. So it's really a whole spectrum of music.
That Spider-Man soundtrack is one of my personal favorites.
It's
I can
phenomenal.
listen to that any day of the week.
Exactly.
So, and what can Bandersnatch do for University Union as a whole moving forward with these events?
Yeah, for sure. We love Bandersnatch because it's our chance to kind of as opposed to Juice Jam is kind of this massive large-scale festival. In Bandersnatch, we get to highlight more up-and-coming acts in a more intimate setting in Goldstein. So it's a great way for us to bring artists that are kind of under the radar that students are just starting to love or are going to love in a few months.
Where do you think these new artists are going to be huge hits on campus after this event?
Hopefully, that's what we hope for. I mean, that's what we predict.
They're going to be huge hits in the world.
Exactly.
They've already proven that, so we're really excited to have them here.
What logistics? What can you tell us about getting tickets, when it starts?
Yeah, so the show is this Friday night, Goldstein Auditorium. Tickets are on sale at boxoffice.syr.edu. $5 for students, $10 for staff, and $15 for the public at the women's box office.
Well, thank you guys for coming. Kerri, back to you.
Thanks, Pat. Thank you so much to University Union for joining us. Thanks to all. That's all the time we have. I'm Kerri McAeney. Tune in next week for Unpeeled.